and you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind, the sports podcast for women about things that matter to us and more. So come join us on your podcast platform. Hey everyone, this is Adrian Goodson, aka Goody with a Y, at a WNBA State of Mind, coming to you with my girl Sylvia Crawley, former WNBA player and NCAA champion with the North Carolina Tar Heels, and known by many for her spectacular blindfolded dunk in the ABL All-Star in Disney. That was fantastic. So welcome to the show. Always just great to have you on the show, because every time you come back, you always have something new. And we always have this discussion. We started this discussion during the pandemic that when the pandemic was over, we were going to come out better than when we went into it. And so I can see you, I see you moving, I see you doing stuff. Just, you got products, you got NFTs. I saw you throw up the NFT. We're going to talk about that too. But my first question is, discuss the retired life and what you've learned from it, where you are at this moment right now.
Okay, so Goody, first of all, let me say I'm so happy to be on this show. You are one of my favorite people on the planet, and now one of my husband's favorite people. Like he literally asked about you and Kristen more than he asks about me sometimes. But when you say retired life, I want to be clear. We are retired from playing basketball. I'm now retired from college traditional coaching, but we're not retired. We are still grinding every day. So retired life from basketball, what have I learned? I learned that right now, Goody, right now, there are people paying tons, like thousands of dollars to go to classes to teach them about confidence. They're paying thousands to go to conferences and classes to teach them about mindset, right? And I'm so grateful that our journey through athletics, like just playing basketball all our lives, it's ingrained in us. Like we don't have to pay $10,000 to go to a conference about confidence, right? You don't have to go pay all this money about mindset. It's things that we learned in basketball, they're transferable to real life, to retired life, and we ain't gotta pay nobody for it. We know it with our eyes closed in our sleep. We know about how to be a go-to player. We know about commitment, resilience. We know about hard work, right? We know about fundamentals. We know about repetition. We know about practice. We know about coaching. And these are all things that people are paying to get that kind of knowledge, to get that kind of, it's ingrained in us. So we got it. We got it. We just got to know how to apply it to what we're doing. I tell people this story all the time. At University of North Carolina, we won a national championship with 7/10 of a second left on the clock. We were down by 2 to La Tech. You remember it was in Richmond, Virginia, right? Yep. We drew up a play. First play was for me, right? Because I was a senior. Tanya Sampson was a senior. So Coach Hatchell said, we're going with our seniors, right? But she said, if she's not open, and this is for, I just stepped back. Marion set a screen for me. So we tried to get that 1 to 5 switch. They lob it up in the air right in front of the rim, and without touching the ground, I'll tip it in. And that had worked like 2 times during that game. So she called that play. La Tech was ready for it. Timeout. We go to the side. Coach was like, bump the 2. We going for the win. She calls a play for Charlotte Smith to shoot a 3. All we need is 2 to tie. Charlotte had only made 8 threes in her whole career. She wasn't our sharp. We had some sharp shooters. She called Charlotte. Nobody expected Charlotte. Charlotte go behind a 3, boop, win a national championship. So now, as an adult, as a retired person, I'm doing a clothing line. I'm making masks during the pandemic. It's 4:45. Post office closed at 5 o'clock. My mom's like, Sil, you better head to the post office with the mask you got made. Whatever we didn't make today, we'll make tomorrow. I'm like, what? No. Shot clock is going off, Moy. 7/10 of a second on the clock. I still can make 5 more masks. So I'm in there like, I jump in the car, run to the post office, mail them. I come back. My mom was like, "Did you make it?" I said, "Of course." This is when I'm at my best, baby. When my back is against the wall, 7 tenths left on the clock. Give me the rock, coach. I'm gonna win you a championship, right? That's my mentality for everything. I want that ball in my hands. Like, I believe that I could win. I believe somebody on my squad can win. If it ain't me, Charlotte. If it ain't Charlotte, it's Goody. Like, one of us is gonna get that ball in the hole. So those are transferable skills that we learn. That's ingrained in us. We just gotta apply it. You just gotta apply it.
Fantastic answer. As a matter of fact, it was so fantastic that you answered the question I was going to ask you second. The advice you give to the next generation and ball and moving forward. It's like you have those, you know, you have the skills within you. They are transferable. All you have to do is hone them. The same thing, the same way we did on that basketball. So that's a fantastic answer, you know.
I got an answer to the second question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Leave a legacy. And this is a deep one right here. It might take a while to unpack it. We might have to revisit it. But like, what is your like for the younger players, think about what you want your legacy to be. And in order to leave a legacy, there has to be some longevity. You know what I mean? Like Kobe left a legacy. Tamika Catchings left a legacy. Lisa Leslie left a legacy. What did all those players have in common? They started and they ended at the same franchise. You know what I mean? Catchings started at Indiana Fever. She retired at Indiana Fever. Kobe started, you know what I mean? Like they started and they finished there. And what's scary to me with this new generation, Goody, is that we got that transfer portal. So you got some kids that have been to 4 schools in 5 years. How you ever gonna leave a legacy? Like, are you really thinking about being one of the greats? Like, do you wanna be a Hall of Famer? Do you wanna, you know what I mean? Like, you wanna be in a record books? Because that don't happen when you switch schools 4 times in 5 years. How do you reach 1,000 points in your career? Who's keeping track of that? Your last 2 schools? Like, how does that even work now? You know what I mean? Like, is it 1,000 points over the last 3 schools you've been at, or just that one school? You got to be there long enough to reach 1,000 points or 2,000 points. You got to have that to get your jersey retired or to be an All-American. You got to have that to be a Hall of Famer. You got to have that to be an Olympian. Like, wait, I'm nervous about this generation because what's going to be your legacy? You know what I mean? And so with legacy, there has to be some longevity. And I've been thinking a lot about this because we were just in Vegas. And I know you're going to touch on that later. I want to jump the gun. But I was so grateful for Mark Davis for allowing us to leave a legacy. Like our legacy is still intact. Because our teams didn't fold, they relocated. Like you played for Utah Stars, it relocated to San Antonio. San Antonio relocated to Vegas. So now our stats are intact still. Our videos are intact. That information is not lost. I played for Portland Fire. Those stats is lost forever. I got no footage. I got some highlight tapes, but they put Jackie Styles on the whole highlight reel. I got one video on there, right? So I got no footage of what I did, but I do at San Antonio. And I only played there for 1 year. But what a legacy I was able to, it's intact, you know what I mean? And so thank you to Mark for not allowing our efforts to just be lost, you know what I mean? And so I was so grateful. It was different from the 25th anniversary. I had a different kind of gratitude as I walked out on that court. Like it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like we left a legacy, a rich legacy for people behind us. And your legacy is something that you leave to help the next generation, help make it easier for somebody else. Like we opened up that door. And so I want to challenge our players right now to think about, what do you want your legacy to be? Because you got to start on that now. Can't wait to the end and be like, I'm gonna leave a legacy. Well, look, you don't play no more, right? You got to do it while you're playing. And then the second thing I want to say to younger players is, there's only one, I don't regret much because I think everything happens for a reason. One thing I do regret is that I didn't start my family because of my career. Like I played in 16 different countries, and I played with some teammates who had kids, and it was hard, right? Their kids are learning a different language in another country, and they bouncing from country. And I was like, I don't ever want my kids to have to learn 5 different languages, and they can't even talk till they're 3 years old, you know? And I purposely put my personal life on hold, like marriage, children, all of that. And I have friends who didn't, like they accidentally got pregnant or whatever, you know, they started their family, but guess what? Their kids are graduating now. It all just worked out, didn't it? You look on social media and you're like, dang, the kids in college, they fed them, they traveled, they learned French and Spanish, like it just worked out. And so their kids, they're gonna have them forever. You know what I mean? So I'm the youngest in my family. I have no children, and I'm younger than my husband. Who taking care of me when I get old? I'm going to a nursing home, Goody. So I got a retirement plan that's like no other, okay? Because I'm gonna be in the country clubs of nursing homes. But if I could give advice to younger players, and that's changing now. It's changing so much. You see so many mothers who play sports. You got Serena Williams had her child and she's still playing tennis. Beyonce had her children, she's still singing. You know what I mean? So it's like your life doesn't have to stop for that to make, like, I think you got to be in athletics, especially, or any career, you have to be intentional. You have to say, okay, I'm available. You know, I shut myself off, like, I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm starting no family. I'm not settling down. I think you have to be intentional about that. And basketball will come and go. Coaching will come and go, but your family will always be with you.
Absolutely. That's a great thing to say to the youngers out there. You know, I agree with you 100%. You elaborated a little bit on the NBA, so I want to elaborate a little bit on this right here. You know, I'm watching, you know, a lot of times I sit back and watch and I see how things move and shift after something happens. And, you know, after we went out to Vegas and we had that weekend and, you know, we're blasting it on social media, I still don't believe that people still honestly know how to take this. But the pressure that is put on the league has been enormous for the other teams to follow suit. Impact have you seen? Answer it briefly. What impact have you seen around the league since we've become the only team that has an alumni?
I know for a fact that people commented on my page on the pictures that I posted, saying that they asked their team if there's, you know, any kind of alumni day. You know, they're calling the front office, like, you know, are we doing an alumni day? Like, what's going on? And, you know, the team's got to figure out what that answer is, you know. And I think, Mark, keep that pressure on, Mark. Keep putting pressure on their necks. And I think there needs to be like a retreat for owners. Like go to Dubai or something. Take all the owners and do a retreat. Like all in the ACC, when I was a head coach in the ACC at Boston College, they had a head coach in the AD retreat. And they sent us to Amelia Island, put us up at the Ritz-Carlton, and we talked about league-wide things, how we can make the ACC better. They need that for the WNBA, right? The owners will pay their own way. You know what I mean? They're owners. They got money. So go somewhere, and Mark needs to do a seminar on how to make an alumni day happen. You got to have an initial investment, right? But, you know, like if he booked all of our flights, Goody, and put it on the Aces frequent flyer miles. Look how many miles they got for 45 players going out there, right? Now you got frequent flyer miles to get free flights for next year. Go find a sponsor that's going to cater the food. Somebody will cater to serve some legends. You know what I mean? It's not hard. You can find the money, you can find the resources for every team to do this. I think every WNBA player needs to experience what we experience. We got our roses. And every player needs their roses while they are still alive.
Every single year, we're going to celebrate you until the wheels fall off of you and us. And that, I think that's absolutely fantastic. The growth that happened in less than a year from us going out there and our group being the first group to go out there and experience it, where we couldn't even go around anybody because we were still in the middle of a pandemic and had to have all of our doctors was weird to see how we've gone from that stage to coming in, going there last week and it being 45 people, 44 people. So it's just absolutely fantastic. Moving on, because we're winding down. I wanted to say you're doing a lot of different things, and it's funny because when I told you that, I said I wanted you to discuss your new product, and I want you to discuss your NFT adventures. What should people know? And then you sent me the picture of your product line. And I said, oh, I guess she must have forgot that I cash after her, her money. Stuff like that right in front of me. And so I did. I used it, and because me, I'm all about supporting former players. Stand behind you, whatever it is, 100%. You got a product, I'm gonna get it from you. It's kind of like a sisterly, motherly love. You wanna buy your little sister's lemonade because it could have no sugar in it. You're just gonna get it, right? And so it's fantastic. So elaborate a little bit on that, and then elaborate a little bit on NFTs as we wind down.
Okay, just let me be clear about something. My why, and you gotta have a why. If you're an entrepreneur, anything you're trying to do, like you gotta figure out what is your why, and your why has to be so big that it brings you to tears. Here's my why. My parents, Marie and Jimmy, they are 80 and 81 years old, and they live with me here, right? So I can't go to California. I had 2 offers to coach this year, 3 offers last year, right? I don't want to relocate my 80-year-old parents to California and Alabama or Denver, right? They don't want to learn another city. They know how to drive around Chapel Hill because I went to school here, and they know how to drive around Ohio because we live there. We're from there, right? So my prayer has been, because there's a lot of opportunities right now for WNBA players to coach in the NBA, to work for Nike, but you got to move to Portland. You got to move to New York. I want to do it from right here while I care for my parents. They're not moving anymore, and we're not packing up this whole house. So my prayer has been, God, help me get multiple streams of income so I can stay right here and take care of my parents, be with my husband, with my family. That's been my prayer, and he has answered that, right? So the product line. I'm now, Goody, my pages are monetized on social media, and you're never gonna guess this, but today on TikTok, I saw that Chantel was live, right? They call her Auntie. She was live on TikTok, so I clicked on it, and she was like, yo, Sylvia needs 99 more followers to go live. Y'all go show her some love, go follow her right now, right? Boom, 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 lit me up. Boom, now my pages are live on TikTok. But anyways, pages are monetized. I'm now an influencer. This is crazy. Companies coming at me left and right. They want to do partnerships. They want me to be an ambassador. I'm saying no. If it's a conflict with what I'm doing to my clothing line, no. If it's some shampoo and you think your hair gonna look like mine if you use this shampoo, no, I'm not doing that. Your hair is not gonna look like my hair. You got different texture. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not that kind of person to say, if you drink this, you're gonna have skin like mine. No, you're not. You know what I mean? But there was one company that came to me, and it was a magnesium company. And I believe in this product. I buy this product. My mom and dad swear by this product, right? It's an alternative to painkillers. So we got a lot of ibuprofen and a lot of Tylenol PMs in this house. And everybody was taking them because when it rained, my tendonitis was flaring up. I had a pull rotator's cuff that'll flare up on me. So I just pop some pain pills and get on to the gym, right? But that's bad on your kidneys, and they're addictive. My mom's on gabapentin. That's the strongest pain medicine on the market right now. She takes it twice a day. And so we started using this cream, it's magnesium cream. You got to put the roll-on on first. And you use that little ball in there to massage the area that's sore, right? Then you put just a dab of the cream. And so the roll-on gets your skin wet so that it can absorb the product. You put a little dab of the cream on there, massage it in, boom. You feeling better. Like, my parents can get out the bed in the morning, right? So I was like, this is the product that I will put my name on. Matter of fact, this is the product that I will put my face on. So I met with the graphic designers. They came up with the design. You have a temporary logo. That's a paper one. It's not launching until the end of August, Goody. So you got it first. And by the way, let me put this little plug in here. When Goody says she supports her sisters, back in ephod Customs, baby, when I was in the league, I started my first clothing line. Goody bought a suit, right? You have always supported. I think one word to like sum up you as a person is loyalty, period. All them other words you say to describe you, throw them out the window. Loyalty, period. That's it. So I appreciate your support over the years. I notice it. I recognize it. I appreciate you, sis. But so you got a trial sample. I just was bringing it for the trainers at the Aces to see if they liked it, and if they did, we would be their supplier for that. But I pulled it out the bag, and Goody was like, "Yo, how much it cost? What I need to do? Cash app you?" I was like, "Yeah, I didn't even have my prices set yet, Goody. You know, this is in the infant stages." So Goody cash app me. You had it on your little calf muscle that was hurting you. But just like that, boom, it's the Crawley Wellness Collection. It's dropping at the end of August. So I'm incredibly grateful. I had a strategy call yesterday, so we're preparing a full launch. I have a team of people that's helping me with this, so you'll see the movement for that. I'm also doing, okay, let me explain it to you like this. I have Crawley's Conversations, where I'm a motivational speaker, or I speak at conferences and stuff like that. I have Crawley's Creation, that's a fashion line. I have Crawley's Wellness Collection now, you know. And what else? Oh, I do private lessons. So I'm a global coach. I train men and women in India, Africa, and in the US. So I do all of these things from home, multiple streams of income. It puzzles me because when people see Tabitha Brown doing all those things, they're like, she in her bag. Yeah, Tabitha, I bought your book. I bought your seasoning salt, all of that. But when it's somebody that you know personally, it's like, they all over the place. They don't know what they want to do. They're a jack of all trades, master of none. You never say that about T.D. Jakes. You never say that about Oprah. You never say that about Tyler Perry. You only say that to the people that you know. You know what I mean? And so, so for me, I found a way in this strategic call that I had to like incorporate everything that I do. And it's a signature program. It's called SLAM. And you know why I would call it SLAM. But the S stands for self-care, the L is for leadership, the A is for alignment, and the M is for mindset, right? And so when people come and ask me to speak, that's gonna be my message. Now I can tweak it, you know, for your audience and for whatever the purpose of your conference or whatever it is, but that's my main message, right? And so you're gonna see my blindfold dunk, which I have an NFT of, because Getty Images, if you Google right now, Sylvia Crawley blindfold dunk, Getty Images getting $4.99 a pop. I never got a dime of that. Yeah. And they got 121 pictures on the internet of me for $4.99. So now, as an athlete, I take back my power. Now I create an NFT of the blindfold dunk. I own the rights of my name, image, and likeness. And every time people buy it, so if you buy my Dunk NFT, you get an autograph card, you get a poster, and you get 2 tickets to a WNBA game of your choice. So if you're in LA, you might want 2 Sparks tickets. If you're in New York, you might want 2 Liberty tickets, right? So that's what comes in that package. And that's on the NFT website. So they'll show my blindfold dunk video, and at the end of that, we'll tell you how to buy that NFT. I'll say my speech about SLAM, right? At the end of that, I'm going to introduce my wellness products for people who are in pain and need that, right? And then I'm going to have a shirt on that says SLAM. And if you want this shirt, if you want this look, go to Crawley's Creation website and buy this shirt, right? So now I've incorporated like everything that I'm doing all in one. It's freaking brilliant. The lady who came up with the whole strategy of this is brilliant, but she's going to help me execute that. And they actually do it for you. Right? So there's people that teach you like, you need to do this. Well, now you got to do that. I'm not techno savvy. I don't know how to do all of those things. I don't know how to create a landing page and funnels and all that stuff. So yeah, so Goody, I want to stay on the cutting edge of everything. I really do. I'm into crypto. My financial planner won't release me to just go get a lot of it because the market is really low, but it is a good time to buy when the market's low. You can get in now because I think this is going to be the way of the world. NFTs, the metaverse, all that stuff, like that's where we're headed. So I mentor a lot of young ladies and I pour everything I have into those young ladies, but those young ladies help me way more than I help them, unbeknownst to them, because they keep me up on the social media. Like Jada, months ago, maybe a year ago, Jada was like, SC, change all your pages to creator pages. And I was like, what? We got on Zoom, she got my back channel, and she changed all of my social media pages. That's why my page is monetized now. Jada did that.
Yeah, she's been hitting me up as well. I've been on the road. She's been slamming me on TikTok. So let her know, Auntie ain't ignoring her. Auntie just a little busy. My July gets crazy, as you can see from my social media pages. How many different things I jumped from, and I started June 27th with the top 100 camp, and then from there I went to the retirement, came back, and then went back for the reunion for Vegas. And plus with, the tournament that I was doing in Boston. So I've been like a little topsy-turvy since May, and my August is going to slow down because I'm going to be doing speaking engagements. I'll be doing keynote stuff during August, so it'll be easier to catch up with me. And you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind. I got my teammate Sylvia Crawley on here, just chopping it up. I really, really appreciate you being on the show, and we are winding down in a couple minutes, so it's going to be like a 3-minute, the 3-minute drill here. Outside of the Aces, okay, give me your top 3 teams and your top 3 players.
Outside of the ACC?
Outside of the Aces. A minute, okay? Give me your top 3 teams and your top 3 players.
Man, you took away my aces. I was Chicago Sky, who have already clinched the playoff spot, by the way. I'm gonna have to go with Connecticut. And I'm thinking the Mystics.
Okay.
I pay so much attention to the Aces that I'm not even really paying attention to everybody else right now.
Now, no particular order, your top 3 players.
I gotta go with Asia. She's having a really good year this year. And I like her for reasons outside of basketball too. She's very marketable. I think she's brilliant in how she's marketing herself right now. And she happens to be my cousin, so I know her upbringing and her background and her morals and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go with Asia. I don't want to do all big girls, but I want to give Fowles her roses before she leaves. So Sylvia Fowles, I mean, when you look at her body of work, like just all the way from LSU, you know what I mean? She's the last breed to me of the lock and lobs, use your body, take up space, you know what I mean? It's a different post player. And Sylvia Fowles, she's the last of that breed, I believe. So I'm gonna go with her.
Number 3.
I hate to do all 3 post players, but I'm biased, but I love Jonquil Jones. I love her game. Jonquil Jones, I love her game. Yep, I'm going with her.
All right, so that's not, all of those 3 players, not bad players to like. The 3 teams that you put out.
Is it all time ever, or is this right now?
Just who you vibrate to right now. It could, you know how we are, as fans, but the Aces are always going to remain out front. But then there's other teams that that we watch because we support the league, and we want to stay in the know of what players are out there and who's migrating to the league, because even though we're not playing, we still help people get into the league. And so
I said Asia, but you said not the Aces. So does she count one of my 3?
It's all good. She can count in there. That's viable. I know you're gonna go with the bigs. And like I said, you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind. I had my teammate, right, my little sis, and just somebody that I really, really appreciate all of the time. You're doing your thing. You're out there. I appreciate all of the comments and all of the things that you've done. Real quick, 30 seconds. Give the people a place where they can come to get in contact with you. All your handles, real quick.
Okay, so it's Coach Crawley on IG. It's Sylvia Crawley 1 on TikTok. It's Sylvia Crawley 00 on Twitter. If you want to follow my clothing line, it's Crawley Creations across the board. I've been branded on that. So just, and everything, Crawley's Creation.
All right, sounds good, sis. I love you. I appreciate you. Before we get off of here, I want you to do a separate thing. Say you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind.
You're listening to a WNBA State of Mind. Free Brittany Griner. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes. And so it shall be. God is in the midst of Brittany. She shall not be moved. Causes wars to cease. To the ends of the earth, sis. She good. She'll help her right early.